ho, ho. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Storytime by Santa. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these wonderful stories that Santa is going to read to you, your family members, and your children. I hope you have a wonderful time. And if you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Santa loves you. Ho, ho, ho. Enjoy. The Snowman Who Wished for Warmth. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between snow-covered hills, there lived a snowman named Frosty. Frosty was not like other snowmen. He had a special magic that brought him to life whenever it snowed. With his bright carrot nose, coal eyes, and a big cheerful smile, Frosty was loved by all the children in the village. Every winter, the children would gather around Frosty, singing songs and playing games. They would laugh and dance, their cheeks rosy from the cold. Frosty loved the children and enjoyed their company, but deep down, he had a secret wish. While he loved the winter, Frosty often wondered what warmth felt like. He had heard stories from the children about cozy fires, warm hugs, and a hot cocoa, and he longed to experience it himself. One crispy winter morning, as Frosty stood in the village square, he saw Santa Claus arriving in his sleigh, pulled by his faithful reindeer. The children ran to greet Santa, their faces lighting up with joy. Santa, with his twinkling eyes and a hearty laugh, greeted each child and handed out presents. As the festivities went on, Frosty approached Santa. "Santa," he began hesitantly, "I have a wish. I've always wondered what warmth feels like. Is there any way you could help me?" Santa looked thoughtfully at Frosty. "That's a very special wish, Frosty. Warmth is a wonderful thing, but it's not something a snowman usually experiences. Let me think about it." That night, as Santa flew back to the North Pole, he pondered Frosty's wish. He knew that granting it would be challenging, but he was determined to find a way to make Frosty's dream come true without melting him. Remember, Frosty is a snowman. The next morning, Santa gathered his elves and explained Frosty's wish. The elves, always eager to help, brainstormed various ideas. After much decision, they came up with a plan that involved a special magical blanket. That blanket was enchanted to provide warmth without melting snow. It was made from the softest, most magical materials found in the North Pole. Santa and his elves worked tirelessly to create the blanket. They sewed each stitch with care and infused it with just the right amount of magic. Finally, on Christmas Eve, the blanket was ready. Santa wrapped it up beautifully and set off for the village. When Santa arrived, he found Frosty standing in his usual spot, surrounded by the children. Santa called Frosty over and handed him the beautifully wrapped present. "Merry Christmas, Frosty. Here's a special gift for you." Frosty unwrapped the present carefully, revealing the soft, shimmering blanket inside. Santa explained, "This blanket is magical. Frosty, it will give you the warmth you've wished for without melting you." With the children's help, Frosty draped the blanket around his shoulders. As soon as the blanket touched him, Frosty felt a gentle, soothing warmth spread around him. It was unlike anything he had ever experienced. He felt cozy and happy, like he was being hugged by a loving family member. The children cheered, seeing the delight on Frosty's face. They all gathered around him, sharing the warmth of the magical blanket. For the first time, Frosty truly understood what the children had been talking about. He felt the comfort and the warmth and the joy of being surrounded by friends and love. From that day on, Frosty and the children continued to play and laugh together, but now they had an extra special bond. Whenever they gathered around, they would share the magical blanket, feeling the warmth and the love it provided. Frosty's wish had come true, and it made their winter days even more magical. And so, Frosty the Snowman learned that warmth wasn't just about physical comfort, it was about the love and friendship that he shared with the children. The magical blanket became a symbol of their special connection, reminding everyone that the true warmth comes from the heart. Merry Christmas to all, and may your hearts always be filled with the warmth of love and friendship. Isn't that awesome? Are you ready for another one? This is so much fun. Santa is having so much fun reading these stories to you. The Nutcracker's Christmas Miracle. Once upon a time, in a cozy town filled with twinkling lights and the scent of pine, there stood a little toy shop at the end of Hotley Lane. The toy shop was special, for it was home to a beautiful nutcracker named Nicholas. Nicholas was a handsome figure, dressed in bright red uniform with gold trimmings and a tall black hat. He stood proudly on the highest shelf, overlooking the shop with a watchful eye. Nicholas was no ordinary nutcracker. He had a secret. He could come to life whenever the clock struck midnight. Each night, when the shop was closed and the moonlight streamed through the windows, Nicholas would climb down from his shelf and explore the shop. He would dance and he would practice his marches, dreaming of one day becoming part of a grand adventure. As Christmas approached, the toy shop became busier and busier. Shoppers flocked in to find the perfect gift, and children pressed their noses against the windows, marveling at the wondrous toys inside. Nicholas watched with excitement, knowing that soon he might find a new home and a chance for adventure. On Christmas Eve, the shop was more magical than ever. The toys were arranged in beautiful displays, and a soft glow from the fairy lights made everything sparkle. But the shopkeeper prepared to close up for the night. Nicholas noticed a small girl standing outside in the cold. She had been hopeful. She had big, hopeful eyes and wore a tattered coat that was too thin for the winter weather. The shopkeeper, a kind old man named Mr. Jenkins, saw the girl and invited her inside. "Come in, dear," he said warmly. "It's too cold outside to be. How can I help you?" The little girl named Emily shyly looked around the shop. I'm looking for a special gift for my brother Tommy, she said. He's been very sick, and I want to give him something to make him smile. Mr. Jenkins smiled gently. I might have just the thing. He reached up to the highest shelf and took down Nicholas, the Nutcracker. This Nutcracker is very special. He brings joy and hope to anyone who owns him. Emily's eyes widened with wonder as she gazed at Nicholas. She knew her brother would love him, but when Mr. Jenkins mentioned the price, Emily's face fell. She didn't have enough money. Seeing her disappointment, Mr. Jenkins thought for a moment. Then he smiled and said, "You know what, Emily? Consider this a Christmas gift from me to you and your brother. Merry Christmas." Emily's face lit up with joy. She thanked Mr. Jenkins profusely and carefully took Nicholas home. That night, as the clock struck midnight, Nicholas came to life in his new home. He found himself in a small, humble room decorated with love. Emily had placed him next to Tommy's bed. Tommy, though weak from illness, smiled when he saw Nicholas. "He's wonderful, Emily. Thank you." Nicholas felt a warmth in his heart that he had never felt before. He knew he had to do something special for Tommy. As the night grew deeper, Nicholas disappeared and whispered to himself, "I wish I could give Tommy the strength and joy he needs." Just then, a soft magical glow surrounded Nicholas. He realized that his heartfelt wish had awakened a powerful magic within him. With a determined heart, Nicholas climbed onto Tommy's bed and touched his hand. A gentle warmth spread through Nicholas to Tommy, filling the room with a soft golden light. In the morning, Emily woke to find her brother sitting up in the bed, a healthy glow in his cheeks. He was laughing and playing with Nicholas. Full of energy and joy, "Emily, look, I feel so much better." Emily was overjoyed and hugged her brother tightly. She couldn't believe the transformation. Nicholas, standing proudly by Tommy's side, knew that the true miracle of Christmas had happened. News of Tommy's recovery spread quickly throughout the town, and everybody was amazed at the power of the little Nutcracker. Mr. Jenkins, upon hearing the story, smiled knowingly and whispered, "Merry Christmas, Nicholas. You truly are a miracle worker." From that Christmas on, Nicholas became a cherished member of Emily and Tommy's family. He continued to bring joy and hope to everyone who met him. And every Christmas Eve, as the clock struck midnight, Nicholas would come to life, ready to spread the magic and miracles of Christmas once more. Merry Christmas to all, and may your hearts be filled with the magic and miracles of the season. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for spending some time with Santa. Santa loves you.